Hi, I'm Michelle, and this is my romantic tangle, and we made belated Halloween project bags with some Dollar General window clings. Keep watching, and I'll show you how. I found these Black Cat vintage Halloween inspired window clings at Dollar General during the brief window of time in 2020 when they had Halloween decorations and had not yet put out Christmas, and I love these vintage Black Cats. I don't have a window in my life where anyone would get to see them, and I was trying to think of a way to use them for something that was going to last. So I got the idea of incorporating them into a vinyl project bag. I dug through my Halloween stash and I was just looking for black and orange to go with the cats. So I pulled out this print and an orange for lining. This orange isn't as bright as the cats, but it's also going to be the lining, so you're not going to see it. And an orange zipper of exactly the right length, which I just happen to have in my ridiculously huge stash of estate sale zippers. I've decided this is my favorite cat and the one I'm going to put in my bag. I made a rectangular template, just adding a couple inches to each side of the cat. And I'm going to use that as a pattern to cut 2 pieces of vinyl. I'm using a thinner gauge vinyl than I would usually use for this sort of bag because I'm going to put the cat between 2 layers, hoping that's going to be permanent. You can't pin vinyl, so I am using my clips that I got from Dollar Tree Crafter Square. They're $1 for 6 of them, and they will just hold everything together while I cut this. I have got my window cling on 1 layer of vinyl. I'm going to put another layer of vinyl over it so the cling is between the 2 layers of vinyl. The plan, I hope, is that this will keep this cling secure and in place long term once the whole bag is sewn together. I have got 3-inch strips of my Halloween fabric and my lining fabric. Halloween fabric is face down, right side towards the cling. Lining fabric, where is the lining fabric going? It is face right side up, right side towards the back side of the cling, and I am going to put these together with my clips. This is directional fabric, so I want to make it so that when I fold it out, it will be going in the same direction as my cat. I have my window cling sandwiched between 2 layers of the clear vinyl. I have stitched my outside fabric, the 2 layers of vinyl sandwiched in between, and my lining fabric, so when I open it all up, you've got lining fabric on the wrong side of the window cling. You've got the exterior fabric on the right side of the window cling. Now I'm going to add strips going down each side. I should know better. I play with fabric all the time. I should know better. This is a directional fabric. So I can use the strips that I already cut and have my directional fabric going in the wrong direction, or I can cut new strips and my pictures will be going in the right direction. And if you look at it, some of these are, most of it is directional this direction, some of these are not. It's all a judgment call. It's what you want to do. It's what you can live with. I am in the mood I am in today. I'm going to recut strips this way. Another day or at 3 a.m. if I was working on the project, I might have let my strips go the wrong direction. It's just, it doesn't matter. It's a project bag for cross stitch. And this fabric, it's directional, but it's not 100% directional. So I am cutting 3-inch strips that I'm using for these, and then whatever size I build the front of my bag up out to, I'll make the back the same size. That's why I haven't cut the backing pieces yet. I could do the math. I could have taken the size of the window cling and the size of the finished bag I wanted and done the math and worked out the width of strips to make a specific size bag, but I didn't. I don't need, if I was making a bag to hold a specific set of Q-snaps, there are reasons where I might have wanted to make a specific size bag, but I'm just going to put little projects in here, or knitting, or a pair of socks in progress. So I went with the size of strips that I thought would look good. As I said, I cut those to 3 inches, so they're going to finish at 2.5. I've got it lined with an orange fat quarter that I had. This is my backing, so once I had the front of my bag, I just cut my backing to that side. I've got the lining fabric, of course, and the outside fabric. And then I put a layer of very thin leftover batting from another project in there just to give the bag a bit more structure. And I top stitched around the edge of the window, again, to give it a bit more structure because I could. I am going to install my zipper to this edge so the bag will open down this side. I could open down the top or that side, or I could have tipped the cat so it was facing up, and honestly, in hindsight, maybe that's what I should have done. But does it matter what side of the bag my zipper is on in reality? I don't think it does. This, like I said, is a zipper that I got from an estate sale. I would never have thought I would use an orange zipper, but hey, this is the project for it. So I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to install it to this side of the bag, and I'll be back with you again in a second. I've got my zipper installed to my front and back along one side. I remembered to check that my directional fabric is going in the same direction on both the front and the back, and it's a finicky detail. It would bug me if I got it wrong when it is so easy to twist the fabric the right direction and get it right. One thing I did forget to mention is that when you're working with zippers from the thrift store or from an estate sale, before you sew them into your project, you probably should open and close them a couple of times and make sure that it's still functioning correctly. Now and then the really old zippers get a bit stiff, and if it's a zipper you're going to fight with, it's better to find that out before you sew it into your complicated project. Open your zipper about halfway, fold the bag with the right sides together, and I am just going to sew a seam along these 3 edges and finish my bag. And there is my Black Cat window cling project bag. In hindsight, if I was going to do it again, I would probably rotate the cat 90 degrees and have the zipper at the top. If this was a quilt, we'd call it improvisational. I was just making it up as I went along and following what seemed like a good idea at the time. Another thing I might do differently is to use a back lining fabric that has a higher contrast with the orange and the green of the cat. I didn't expect the green to fade into the orange like that. If I'm using the bag in the way it was intended though, you're not going to see the cat against the lining. So I'm glad I finished it today instead of getting home to my own sewing room to look for a different fabric, because that would have hung me up. I have been planning this project since September, and I evacuated my window clings for the wildfire. I put it off. This was originally for Halloween, and then I put it off because the little decisions, once I get going I can make them, but if I try to plan the whole thing out in advance, I bog myself down. Start to finish, this maybe took an hour. Lots of time off to film these little bits and to gossip with my quilting buddy, so it's a quick project. It's fun. The Halloween window clings are gone for the year, but I see they've got new Christmas ones, and there's always lots of Christmas fabric. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'll be back with you again very soon.